fast. I mean, as I said before, I don't mind that he does think fast. It's just that it scares me a little bit that he is doing the pacing extremely fast, because that just means that Eden Zero is not meant to be a long running manga. Because as I said before, my biggest fear with Eden Zero is basically that while I am very enjoying the story and every chapter we are getting so far, I still am not really 100% sure where the story is heading, and that makes me a little bit worried. But that's actually my only concern. So the fact that the pacing can... I complain when a pacing is too slow, but when a pacing is too fast, well, you wonder what will happen. But that's a minor thing. That's not a hate or anything. It's just a worry. This is me, the angry anime fan, and yes, this is Eden Zero, chapter 29, the Iron Hill. First, a cover page where seems that Moso and Happy and Pino all doing these things. Either way, we'll finally find out one thing about this chapter here, and it almost proved my theory correct. I don't know if I was the original one who made this theory, but I prefer to say that since I always said about it in my videos, this was at least my theory in that scenario. First off, we see the girls, Rebecca and Homura, bathing in what she now calls the Spa of Eden. I mean, Rebecca. And but Homura is kind of adorable in the fact that she says this is also part of my training. Well, I didn't know. Well, actually, I should have figured it out, but I didn't know she had such a serious training montage of it all. So it's worth noting that Rebecca can handle the heat of the spa, but for some reason Homura cannot. It's really adorable. Huh. For some strange... Huh. Well, sorry. It's just that I got deja vu for a moment there. When they are in the spa moment, for some strange reason, it felt like I've seen that scene before, but I don't really know why. Either way, it's Homura feels like it's too hot, although according to Happy it's only 45 degrees Celsius, but I am bad with math, so you count that out. Either way, Homura wonders if Rebecca has an ether gear, but she says she doesn't have that yet. So I guess that means why she hasn't used it yet. She is slowly growing into it, but no, she doesn't really think she has it yet. But this is finally one clue on what we have of an ether gear. You know, I talked about before that a lot of the ether gears seems to match the people's personality somewhat, at least from the few of them we have seen. And this almost made that theory correct, because here Homura says, what kind of power do you wish to use? You get to choose. If you haven't learned anything yet, then it's possible. Yes, it doesn't necessarily prove my theory that a lot of the ether gears matches the personality correct, but when she says that you perhaps get to choose if you haven't learned anything yet, thus seems to match with the fact that some people do get ether gears because this is how they want to be. So it's in a way correct of what I have talked about, because as Rebecca says, she wishes to have some kind of auto aim because she's good with guns, so she changes into happy guns. And of course Homura feels that is so good, so she stands up and draws her sword because, well, she wants to have a sparring match. Although technically Rebecca is not like that, and it's worth noting that they're naked, so, well, it's nice. Either way, it's revealed that the code room 3173 seems to be a meeting hall of Sister and Witch who is catching up, and it's revealed that yes, Elsie has been protecting Eden Zero for a long time, and according to Sister, Elsie was a little girl who was attached to Siggy, possibly hinting that Siggy raised Elsie, perhaps found her as a child and raised her as well. So either way, they want to get the team back together. So Sister asks about Pino, and according to Sister, she is the next generation, and which says it's basically that Pino is the light of Eden, while Moscow is the pig of Eden, which he takes as a compliment, which is kind of strange. Either way, Rebecca gets back her holo cube, or no, her B cube. I'm actually surprised it's still there. I thought it melted away, which is actually a gift from her sister. It's also worth noting that how she's dressed currently. She's dressed very similar to the time skip outfit that Lucy had from Fairy Tale. I know, once again a comparison, but I actually didn't really like that too skimpy outfit on Rebecca on Lucy. I mean, it matched her sexiness. It just felt like it was something about it I didn't like. I don't know. Either way, they don't know where Professor Wise is. Old man Wise, but because they cannot contact him. But he seems to be out of Cosmos. So maybe he's also trying to find Mother, or maybe he's trying to find something else. Either way, Homura is not here right now because, well, she did a massage and she was curious about electric massage, which apparently the witch did a little bit with a, I won't say sadistic smile, with a smile of face, but apparently that knocked her out. Of course, Wise is excited about that, while Shiki just feels like it's training. When I saw that picture, I began to wonder, but as you know, Shiki is not really meant to be perverted. He's just extremely curious about the female gender, so to speak. But of course, Wise had perverted thoughts. Even think nothing too perverted. It's also revealed that Eden Zero has a wardrobe place that actually has a lot of outfits, and the real reason and what the deal between Wise and Homera was that oh, sorry, that was a these verbs are so difficult sometimes. What I was trying to say is that that Wise wanted Homera to pick out a clothes for him. That was the deal, and well, she was gonna be dressed as a bunny girl or whatever. Either way, Rebecca is contacted by Clarice, who's happy to know she's alive. It's worth noting, though, that when sister looks at her, she has a very melancholic look again. I'm actually beginning to wonder: does that mean something? However, Clarice says that the guildmaster is fine, but I really wonder. I begin to wonder if Clarice is the guildmaster. Well, we still don't know. Either way, she says that Rebecca shouldn't come back to Blue Garden immediately because of the media frenzy. You know what I talked about before? That I'm still a little bit cross that the beekeepers haven't really helped Rebecca with her views. Well, finally they did promote her a little bit. They got interviewed and they said the one who saved them was Rebecca. So of course they became very popular and their views have skyrocketed. But unfortunately they have only gotten bad ratings. It's kind of sad, really. But I should know. I'm a bad YouTuber myself, so I get bad ratings all the time. Well, not all the time, but sometimes. So, but again, I think it's just that Rebecca lacks intuition of knowing how to make things interesting, so she makes bad videos. It's a little bit sad, but that's what I think she needs to have these beekeepers on her channel. They can really help her grow. But at least they promoted her channel, so I guess that's better than nothing, really. Either way, they'll start looking for everything else while following some leads. But then they pass by the Iron Hill, statue-like hill in the Sakura cosmos that details 12 gigantic statues, which is huge. Of course, Wise feels like Rebecca's rack is huger. And all of these apparently are ancient heroes from the Dark Ages. Once again, the Dark Ages. The hero Arcelic, Nicholas Urshulu, and many things more. Apparently, a long time ago, they guarded the Sakura Kingdom during the Dark Ages. They were called the Heavenly Knights. Sorry. Of the Dancing Sakura, the Guardians of Blue Garden. So, I mean, as I said before, I don't know where the story is heading, and sometimes the pacing makes me a little worried. But again, we are introduced to a lot of characters. That really implies that this story can go on for a while. We just don't know how it will all mix together. The ancient heroes of the so-called Dark Ages. Wouldn't it be ironic if these heroes are false? Because again, there are some things that do not make sense yet, only because we don't know everything yet. And that is, it was said that Siggy, a very long time ago, ruled the Sakura King cosmos. We don't know why yet. We don't even know what she meant by ruling it. And then we have met these ancient heroes of the Dark Ages. Granted, Siggy probably didn't come from the Dark Ages, but you get my point. There is, and now even the six, Galactic Oration. Sorry, I forgot their names. But I think they're based on the Russian says from Raymaster and Fairytale. And now finally these heavenly knights of the Dancing Sakura. Although technically these are statues. It all comes back to the Dark Ages. Something is happened there, and I hope we'll see one day. Either way, they fail those are amazing, as Pino actually detects someone on top of one hero. And it's here that things really take a turn, as Sister reveals she did have a few leads, but she didn't think her first one would be correct. Are you reading my mind? Hermit. Which seems to imply that this girl, which stands on top of one of the heroes, is Hermit. And I'm just again saying, what? It barely took 2 chapters after the last arc ended, and already we have met Hermit? Actually, we got some information about Hermit this chapter. Apparently, Hermit liked the wardrobe room. Oh yeah, Moscow has a crush on, the big plummy beekeeper girl. That's the only reason why she kidnapped him. Not her. But he kidnapped her when she... no, he... Sorry, I slur my words sometimes. Was brainwashed and all that. But you're saying that we're meeting Hermit immediately? Judging from how the story has been going so far, I think we can assume that Valkyria is gonna be the last to be found. After all, Homura says she disappeared. I wonder. But if this girl really is Hermit, I have to say this is a wonderful design again. Granted, we haven't seen her entire body. But I have to say, just looking at Hermit, and I melt a little bit in my heart. Because again, if this girl really is Hermit, we should be a little bit careful. It can't be that simple. Then I have to say she has a very melancholic face, which actually matches her epithet. She's called the Hermit. It's not yet known why she is the Hermit. She's called the Heart of Eden, and we do not know what that means yet. But she's a very melancholic, if not a very lonely face, and she also were on these statues all by herself, just like a hermit. So I wonder, will it really be that easy to recruit her? I don't know, because next chapter is called Super Virtual Planet. Is that implying that there's gonna be something in the way of them recruiting Hermit? Well, if it was that easy, it probably wouldn't have been too fun, right? Either way, once again, a chapter I enjoyed. It was just set up, funny, comedian, and some nice etchy. I liked it. And yes, Rebecca finally got some ratings, although it's too bad it's not good enough yet. And we got some informations. My theory about the Aether Gears were almost correct. Note, almost correct. But we still need to dive a little bit more into them. Give me your thoughts if you have any.